videos or sharing some conversations between me and the Most High with you guys that may resonate with some of you. So, the things I've been reflecting on most recently with Spirit is, if any of you have come across like any of these posts about, well, first of all, people's like level of entitlement is just crazy, especially as it pertains to people whom you literally don't know them personally. It's not like this person, or especially if it's somebody who's like not intentionally doing any wrong to anybody. Like, this is somebody who is focused on their own journey, focused on themselves, and just focus on what they want to manifest for themselves, okay? They're not out here being spiteful or trolling anybody. Meanwhile, you have people trying to troll them, okay? Entitlement. That's the kind of entitlement that I mean. People who feel entitled to speak on a person's life who literally stays out of the way. That's it. For example, Skai Jackson. Okay, there's a lot going around about this girl's personal business that has absolutely nothing to do with us. Okay, like, if we're being all the way real, people can say things like, oh, she wants to always look perfect in front of people, oh, she's bougie, duh. What the fuck they got to do with us? That shit has absolutely nothing to do with us at all. And that's the point that's being made here. So just be mindful of getting pulled into certain bandwagons, okay, or jumping on certain bandwagons of people whom get off on seeing something that they want to define as bad for somebody who, altogether is doing well for themselves, right? They're excelling, okay? And I'm saying, excuse me, this is confirmation because I burped. So, you have grown ass people. One. Two, you have people who are not bold, courageous, brave enough to pursue their dreams or to pursue something that is deemed unconventional, okay? But is in alignment with your dreams, okay? Or what you want to do for yourself, what you desire to do. These kind of people, okay, are feeling justified and entitled to speak on somebody who's literally doing those very things. Like, you feel me? Who's courageous and bold enough to put themselves in front of millions and millions of strangers, okay, and know that there's a potential to face ridicule and backlash, in the event that they make some type of life decision that people are going to decide they do not approve of. So if I could speak to her, if I could personally speak to Skai Jackson, or because I don't know her personally, but what I do know and what I do see and what I don't appreciate is people who all try to join together to a group that's negating something or being negative towards somebody who literally don't deserve that shit. Y'all sit here and y'all try to act like you genuinely care about this girl. Okay, you highlight her highlights in her career, right? And you talk about, oh, she, she's such a great actress, and oh, she's so beautiful, and she does this, she carries herself well. But then, because of another person that whom she has no control over, granted, none of us have control over any other person besides ourselves. We can only control ourselves. We cannot control another person. So for people to feel justified to ridicule her based off this man or the person or the father of her child, you get what I'm saying? It's It's something here about some people being humble. This time some people, okay, because please don't act like you've never experienced liking somebody, having feelings, or having developed feelings for someone whom maybe after a while other sides of them come out, or the fact that we even have a saying of, people's true colors coming out. The fact that that's even a thing, okay? Can you really sit there and say that you've never ever experienced anything like that? Like, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It can be platonic. It can be your own family. It can be business associates. Okay, where seemingly it seemed like, somebody was trustworthy enough to have a certain level of access to you, and maybe, their vessel, or their spirit was weakened, you know enough for them to be used against you, or used to humiliate you, okay, or used to get some type of low vibrational reaction out of you, okay? I'm just saying, like, are people forgetting that that's the thing? Especially when it comes to spiritual warfare, you do realize that even with your family, whom sometimes we have to make decisions to put distance between us and certain family members, okay? You do realize there's a bigger picture here that's going on besides what we see right in front of us, our flesh, the tangible. Okay, things are not always as they seem. All right. This is a very gifted individual that we're talking about. Okay, this is somebody who's achieved a rare achievement in the life as we know it. Okay, somebody who reaches the point of, becoming very well known and viral and popular. You mentioned their name in so many different communities in different countries and places, and people recognize this person. Do you understand, like, how big that is and how rare that is? Out of the billions and trillions of people on this planet, do you realize how rare that is? So I feel like this is actually a life lesson in the making for Skai Jackson. Because one thing about being an entertainer, okay, being viral, being popular, being an artist, or someone who's very well known, one thing about that is sometimes you can fall for the illusion that, oh, so many people love me and care about me and support me. It's easy to fall for that illusion. And then sometimes certain things happen, okay, which can also be natural occurrences. Things happen, and when you make certain decisions, you get to really see how people are, or how volatile, how unfaithful, how unreliable people can really be. So I really hope and pray that she's not consuming this information in the way that people are, like, trolling her and hoping for her to consume it and be impacted by it negatively, despite them trying to masquerade it as light, or trying to make it seem like, oh, we're just saying this because we care about her and we concerned. How do you care about her and you're concerned, but you're jumping on the bandwagon of saying all these rude remarks and comments and literally demeaning, degrading, and disrespecting her over a person whom she has no control over? And what's even crazier about all of this? The Most High says that Skai Jackson is a divine feminine. So can you imagine how many people right now are being baited, okay, to receive judgment for bashing and ridiculing this divine feminine? Because she is one, she's a divine feminine. So for those people who want clout, and they're capitalizing off what's hot, what's the hot topic right now for views and likes, okay? And really trying to ride her coattail. Like, if we're going to call a thing, they're really riding her coattail because she's someone who is known, okay? So that's really what that is. But one thing about riding that person's coattail, it ain't nothing to just, okay, dust the motherfuckers off, knock that shit off your jacket, and guess who's still wearing that coat? Guess who still owns the coat? The person that's wearing it. So that's one message here. So just let that be a testament, okay? Just because her slander, her being ostracized or whatever the case is, front, face, and center in public for so many people to see, a lot of you guys could resonate with that very energy. People trying to do you that way too. You might not be as big as her or other people, but you guys are experiencing similar things because it's literally an attack on the divine feminine, an attack on the divine masculine, and it will always be. All I'm going to say is be or do your due diligence, okay? Seek clarity and discernment, okay, with the Most High about these people. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's one thing. Another thing, I was in the shower this morning and Spirit was showing me in my mind's eye, basically saying how even though the public, the masses, or people who don't really have an understanding and true knowledge of the Most High, okay, a true resonance with God, how they may deem something demonic, okay, low vibrational, evil, because they don't understand it. And what he brought to me was Yeshua when he was what we can call practicing alchemy, right? So he came around, when he came around healing the blind, okay, healing the sick, and I mean like from quote unquote incurable diseases, okay, ailments. When he showed love, and attention to those whom others have ostracized, right? People try to demonize him, right? They went from blessing him to cursing him. So it's that energy of the same mouths that will bless you will turn around and curse you. 1313. And that's what's happening with Skai Jackson. That's what's happening, or that's what has happened, will continue to happen with a lot of us, who are on that divine path. Period. So that's what he brought to my attention, that sometimes, or many times, the Most High will guide you or lead you to make certain decisions, okay, that other people may not understand, or it may surpass their understanding. However, you have that understanding between you and the Most High, and that is all that matters. You will be supported by the angels. You will be supported by God, which is really the only support that you need. But you will have all the support that you need, that is required, okay, for you to carry out whatever it is the Most High is leading you to do, whatever decisions he's leading you to make, choices. You will have that full-blown support regardless of the people around you supporting you or not. Period. Okay? If it happened with Yeshua, if it happened with, people who done so much for their community, okay? If you're somebody who does a lot for others, if you're somebody who has the kind of heart to want to do for others, okay, you can't expect that not to happen with you, basically. Okay, so there could be things that are heaven sent, as far as your abilities, your talents, your gifts, your purpose, okay? You being a healer, you being able to heal people through your hands, okay? Through the things you create, through your words, whatever the case may be. You being able to be a light to people when it comes to sound counsel, okay? You being able to bring people out of dark places or out of sunken places with your words, or you allowing your vessel to be used by the Most High so that the Most High can speak through you, right? You being able to retain wisdom and like ancestral wisdom, okay, from your ancestors and all of that, and then being able to regurgitate that, to feed that into other people, to keep that going. There's going to be people that demonize that shit. There's going to be people that try to paint you out as anything but divine, okay? But at the end of the day, it is divine, period. And that's why your connection with source has to be selfish. Your connection with the Most High has to be selfish. You have to be steadfast, okay? So that you will be able to stand, period. Because there's going to be a lot of attempts. There's going to be people ganging up and people in groups, okay? And who feel powerful in those groups and feel like, well, we're right. We have to be right. You're wrong and we're right because there's more of us and less of you, or it's only you. Meanwhile, even though they may be running their mouth, okay, popping their chops or whatever, trying to say that something is a lie, something is of evil, something is of witchcraft. At the end of the day, can any of them do what you're doing, what you're able to do? At the end of the day, are any of them, gifted or trusted by the Most High to be able to do what you're doing? Do any of them have the character necessary to have these healing abilities that you have, that you are distributing responsibly with discipline and integrity, okay? Because for you to demonize a person whom you're not even trying to understand, so it's like that cynical energy, right? You're not even trying or open to understanding, because what it really is, your rejection is really just a mask of your envy. A lot of people's rejection is a mask to cloak the envy that they truly feel towards you. That's really what that is. So, I'm going to call a thing a thing. A lot of these people are envious of this girl because not only is she famous and, very beautiful in her natural acuity, like she's very beautiful, she has natural beautiful hair, a natural beautiful face, like she doesn't need makeup and all that stuff, you get what I'm saying? Like, she's naturally beautiful, down to earth, and she owns whatever doors open, whatever chapters that she's experiencing in her life, she's owning it. And it's like another recurring topic has been like the media creating their own narratives, or taking bits and pieces of videos and content of what somebody is saying, or basically crafting their own narratives that are false. There's no truth to it, but because they've put it out there and people are so thirsty for drama, people are so thirsty to see somebody crash and crumble whom they actually envy, people take that, they suck that shit up, and then they pass it around and make it appear as if it is truth. But it's not. The whole time, it's a lie. Okay? Even with her choosing to keep something that is very sacred, and that's what fuck people up too. Just because everybody's doing a thing, or everybody mostly do something this particular way, doesn't make it the best way. Doesn't mean that's the way intended. Doesn't mean that's the way we should do things. That's just the way that you see a lot of people doing the shit. That don't mean that that's the healthiest manner that we should carry that out. That's not what that means. So just because somebody chooses to keep a pregnancy, for example, private, okay, because they don't owe y'all shit, especially if they don't know you personally. Nobody owes you their personal business. Nobody. What the fuck? So do you realize how entitled these motherfucking strangers are to say, oh, she was hiding her pregnancy? What you shame for? What you shame about? That's her fucking business, and it's sacred. No, you shouldn't allow any and everybody, especially envious eyes, as we're seeing that now, Now that she's come out and shown that she's with child, we're seeing all this envy spill over, and people are trying to hide it behind something else. Oh, that's distasteful. You feel me? Like, you got people putting themselves in places to feel like they have the right to speak down on this girl, and they haven't even achieved half as much as what the fuck she achieved. And it's not even fully about achievements, but the fact that she has a beautiful character and she's achieving these things, like her dreams. Okay? You have these people who don't even have a good character. Okay? They don't have visions. They don't have a vision for themselves. Okay? They live their lives very selfishly. They don't have or develop visions of, how can I help assist the world? How can I help make the world a better place? How can I help give back to a community or uplift a community? What is it that I can do? What piece of the puzzle can I attribute? Okay? That I can contribute to improve something. You have people who don't even operate in this manner of thinking, feeling entitled to talk to somebody who literally has a positive impact, who's made a positive impact and influence on a certain community or on other people or multiple communities. I'm telling you, there's nothing new under the sun, okay? Even though Yeshua was healing people, it's 911. Yeshua was of help. He was of solution in times of emergency. And you know what's so crazy? It's that energy of people, if it was them personally, okay? If you was dying and you don't want to die, you mean to tell me you're not going to be grateful, you're not going to be happy when somebody come along who has been blessed with certain healing abilities and they actually can heal you from that sickness? You're not going to be grateful for that? Okay. Cool. But when it's happening outside of you, like you're just witnessing that, you're just going to demonize the fact that somebody did that? Why? Because what? You envy the attention that they get from it. You envy the fact that, hey, this person actually is special. Like, there's something special about this person. There's something unique about this person. There's something rare about this person. There's something desirous about this person. I can't resonate with that. So they got to go. We got to get them out of the way. You have a lot of people with that old ass spirit, that old ass mentality, because it is a spirit. Okay? And we're just seeing it regurgitate and regurgitate and regurgitate itself. Alright? So yeah. Don't allow people, okay? Don't allow people to make you feel like things that you're being divinely guided to do or that you're divinely capable of doing is demonic or bad or wrong just because they're unable or they don't understand or they don't care to learn or understand. That's their business. That has nothing to do with you. If people want to stunt their own growth and development and self-actualization, that is their choice. Again, like I said earlier, we have no control over nobody but ourselves. Period. So again, if somebody chooses to betray you, betray your trust, okay, try to humiliate you, try to gain clout off you, again, I don't give a fuck how many people is hyping that shit up or taking that shit and running with it. Like, oh my God, like she let him. Oh my God, he let her do him like that. Ain't no motherfucker ain't let nobody do nothing. Like, you can't control what the fuck that person do. You can't control what that person do. Like, damn, like, am I wrong for giving somebody love? Because ultimately we all do want love. Like, let's keep it a G. We all want love. Am I wrong for giving somebody love and then their demons, or they become subject? Because let me tell you about possession. They become subject of some type of let's say they have a toxic recurring pattern that's in their bloodline, that's a part of their ancestry, okay, and it's triggered by your light. I think we're familiar with that, okay? How the hell is y'all gonna blame the person that's giving genuine love and sincerity and care and compassion? How are you gonna blame that person for someone else trying or attempting to humiliate them? Someone else turning on them or betraying them, trying to gain clout. How are you gonna blame that person that's actually living in an upright manner, okay, for somebody else's ignorance, someone else's trauma that they have not transmuted. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. But that's okay. That's okay. As long as they understand, you don't have to know her personally to receive karma for joining in on bullying her. Because ultimately, that's what it is. It's bullying. It's bullying. She doesn't have to know you by name. She doesn't have to know you personally. But the simple fact that you're doing it and you're in the wrong for it, you're going to receive karma for it. That's how it go. That's how they go. Anyway, there's this book. This is one of my favorite books of all time. Okay? Women Who Run with the Wolves, right? Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. Okay? A deeply spiritual book, she honors what is tough, smart, and untamed in women. Okay? So, the reason why I'm mentioning this book is because the section that I've been reading the past few weeks, it basically talks about, there's a portion of the story where there were messengers sent between a mother and a king who was gone off to war. And the messages he was sending back to his mother was basically, his mother was caring for his wife and their newly born child, right? But the communication was solely between the grandmother, which is his mom, and him, okay, who is a king. Along the journey of at least 3 to 4 messengers, possibly more. On the way there, there's this river, okay? There's this pond, this river, this lake that we understand spiritually, symbolically, how, spiritually intense water is, especially bodies of water, lakes of, and stuff like that. When it comes to spirits, ghosts, ghouls, whatever the case may be, right? So every time a messenger made it to this lake, which was halfway through the journey, they will become super fucking sleepy, right? Like super tired, okay? And they will fall asleep at the lake before they actually make it back to the mom or make it back to the king. So in this story in particular, the devil is in this story. What the devil does is he changes the message, right? In that moment when the messenger falls asleep, he changes the message into something that's like low vibrational, something that stirs up fear, anxiety, and worry, but basically totally different from what the original message is. So there's confusion. So he's intentionally creating confusion, but his target the entire time is the woman, his wife, okay? The wife that has bear the child. That's who he's targeting. He's been targeting her even before she met the king and his mom, right? So basically, the woman is highly spiritually protected. She's very gifted, and he's been, he's sought after her soul for a very long time, but has been unsuccessful. Okay, so in this particular plot, his intent was to confuse the mom and the king or whatever, right? But the end goal was to convince somebody to kill the woman, whom, like I said, that was his target the whole damn time. So he was saying stuff like, the king, he was off at war when she gave birth to their first child, right? This nigga would change the message to tell the king that she gave birth to a child that's half human, half dog. Thinking or hoping that the king is going to be stirred up in anger and rule something against his own wife. You feel me? Like, oh, you betrayed me, you cheated on me, like, what are you beast woman, or what, so that ultimately he would either abandon her or have her killed. Okay? But he genuinely, on a soul level, loved this woman and accepted her. And that's the thing, she already had what we would deem as flaws. She already had that when he met her. The name of this story, if you guys ever want to look into it, is called The Handless Maiden. All right. The reason why he just knew that he wanted to be with her is because the first time he saw her, because he owns like a orchard of like all these like pear trees, and like he's very abundant and prosperous, right? And so is his land. So one of his watchers saw a woman in all white, but she was kind of rugged, come into like the orchard of their trees and stuff like that, and she had no hands, right? But she was not traveling alone, and this happened at nighttime, right? The watcher witnessed her going up to a tree with the spirit basically like walking with her, right? And you could tell like the spirit was protecting her. Whenever she would walk up to a tree, the tree would literally lower a branch to her mouth so that she can take a bite of one of the pears because she had no hands, right? So the watcher went and reported this to the king. So the next night, the king came out and he, basically kept watch with the watcher because he wanted to witness it, right? So they realized they was witnessing something very divine and very rare, you know what I'm saying? So when he witnessed this, he had what he calls one of his magicians, okay, go and approach her. And you know what's crazy about this magician approaching her? He knew to kind of keep a little distance, between them out of respect, okay, out of like reverence. So he asked her like, what are you, and basically in short, she said, no, he asked her, are you human? Are you human? And wow, that's crazy. I gotta tell y'all something else. But she basically said, I once was. I once was. But in short, now she's saying that she's both. And that is because of what she experienced prior to reaching that point. Okay? Like I said, if you guys want to look into that story, The Handless Maiden, you can do that. There's some times where I do want to come on here and have like little story times, like, so I may do that in a future video and just read that particular story. It's a very brief story. But yeah. So once he realized, like, this is somebody who is not solely in their flesh. This is somebody who is very well loved and favored by God. He knew, like, instinctively that if he blessed her, if he cherished her, that he will be blessed for it. Like, and I don't know, it's like, it was just something like, it just sparked something very rare within him, because like I said, this woman was not solely of flesh. This woman was a combination, okay, a conscious combination of soul and body. All right. So he married her. He promised to take care of her, to cherish her for the rest of their lives. Like, he made her, I think he was a wielder. So he made her metal hands, okay, because she was handless. And he just really loved on her, like married her. They conceived their first and only child together. His mother was very loving and kind to her and cared for her and cooked for her, and all of these things, right? Like, it was just a happy family, but he had to go off to war, right? Which meant he missed the delivery of the child and everything. So one of the messages that the mom received back was, it was looking like the king was telling her to kill his wife and cut out her eyes and her tongue as proof. And the mom intuitively was like, why would he tell me to do something like that? That's not like him. Like, and that's not me. I'm not about to do that to her. She don't deserve that. And that's not of my character. Why would I do that? Why would he ask me to do something like that? I'm not doing it. Right? So instead, she killed a deer, a baby deer, and cut out its eyes and its tongue, because she wasn't about to do that to her daughter-in-law, who literally had her one and only grandbaby. And her daughter-in-law, like, everybody knew she was very special and gifted and favored by God. Like, I'm not about to do that. So, but because she was still unsure, because there was a lot of confusion going back and forth, these was multiple messages. Literally, like I said, 3 to 4, possibly more messengers all fell asleep at this lake. And whenever they fell asleep at this lake, it gave the devil leverage to modify the message, the original message that was sent. Okay. So boom. She ultimately gathered the wife and the baby, like, you know, for a journey or whatever. And because she was confused, she wasn't sure, like, if the king was serious, you know, she basically prepped her and told her that she had to leave for her safety and security. And she told her where to go. Okay. And, you know, assured her that if you go to this particular place, you know, you will be cared for, yada, yada, yada. Y'all, so the lady, being a divine feminine, you know, she continued on her journey with her baby and everything. Found this tribe of people who took her in. And not only did they take her in, but she ended up being a blessing to this tribe of people. Y'all, tell me why her hands grew back. Her real hands grew back, and she didn't need the metal ones anymore, right? So when the king came back and he realized that his mom had sent his wife and his baby away, it broke his fucking heart, because he's like, why the hell would you do that? And she told him about the messages that she received. Like, I thought you told me to. And he was like, no, like, why would I do that? Why would I say that? You know, so now he goes on this journey to find his wife and his one and only child. And he's like growing into a depression. He's been traveling for a long time, like just, you know, looking, and almost becoming hopeless. And he, you know, I think something happened with him, like he passed out or something happened. And his tribe found him, right? And they brought him to, I guess, like, you know, where they live and everything. He woke up and there was this woman, like, just caring for him and, you know, like just healing his body and stuff like that. And basically, you know, long story short, she told him, I'm your wife. I'm such and such. You know, this is your child. And he was like, my wife doesn't have hands. Right? And so she explained to him how they grew back. And then she went and she grabbed the metal hands that he made. Right? He made these for her and showed him the metal hands. So that's how he officially knew, you know, that was his wife, right? And so, yeah, happy ending. But the point is, the confusion of the messages, the confusion of the information to cause people to act out in a manner that they normally would not act. That's a lot of what's going on, especially on social media. So again, to try to paint this narrative that Skai Jackson was hiding her pregnancy from the public because she's ashamed. Maybe she just wanted to protect her child. Maybe she just wanted to take in the fact that, oh my gosh, like, I'm about to be a mom and this is so sacred and this is a gift from God. And, you know, I don't want so many projections, you know, towards, you know, my journey and stuff like that. I want to enjoy this. Like, but you see how people will just take something beautiful and just tarnish it as much as possible. I don't give a damn who this person is, the father of her child. I don't give a damn what decisions he chose to make. That is not a justification for people to demean, degrade, and bully this innocent woman. Period. And motherfuckers gonna get karma for it. So if you're a part of it, you might want to reevaluate your decisions. Period. Period. Shit. We can go into a whole nother conversation about Trump if you want to talk about confusion of messages. But we're not going to do that right now. We're not going to do that right now. We'll say that for another video. But yeah, you guys. That's the channel energy that's coming out right now. So I just randomly flipped to a page and it says cutting loose and diving in. Discernment. I feel like if you're not careful, social media can really be like one of the biggest like weapons used against people's mentals, people's souls. I'm telling you, because God forbid you get manipulated into partaking into something where you're collecting blood on your hands. God forbid. God forbid. But people are doing it because people want to feel included in some shit. And that's what the fuck is wrong with people. Man, all the examples left to us, I'm telling you. You have to know, and you have to be selective and have enough self-respect for yourself to, discerningly choose or select what groups and what communities you're going to entertain or be a part of. Know how long to be there, know when to leave, know how far to go, know how far you should go with things or do things, what you should partake in, what you should not partake in. Okay, like, you really need to be on your P's and Q's, but you also need to know how to walk away and be okay with it and understand why it's best to walk away, to separate, period, to go into hermit mode, to have a balance with that, period. Otherwise, you may be subjected to, it's kind of like you're the getaway driver to motherfuckers who be like, yo, take me to the stove, fam, take me to the stove, cuz, take me to the stove. Motherfuckers pull up to the stove, you chilling in the car and shit, cause you just getting your cousin a ride, you feel me? Niggas run back to the car with bags of money and shit, and blood on the bag and holding guns and shit. Drive, nigga, drive. I'm telling you, bro. That's why you really have to have like a level of tough skin. And I'm not talking about no fake shit either. Like that energy of people thinking that you're tough when you're cold-hearted and you're just mean and you're an asshole to people for no reason. No, that's not tough, nigga. That's some weak ass shit. You're not tough. Like, you're not. I'm talking about, first of all, making sure you're tapped in to the highest power, okay, which is the Most High, which is Source, and really like being steadfast and unwavering in that. Because if you really want to be somebody who embodies like an unbreakable confidence, I'm telling you, that confidence needs to come from the Most High. Like that energy, that solidarity, whatever you want to call it, it needs to be coming from the Most High. That's the only way it's going to be guaranteed. That's the only way you're going to be unmovable. That's the type of confidence people are truly intimidated by. Nobody, listen, only weak-minded and people who are solely in the flesh are intimidated by people when it comes to their clothes, their materials, their looks, their physicalities. Those are the only people who will be intimidated by these type of vanities. But when you have a confidence that is divine, that is sourced in the Most High, because you're protected, that you're loved, that your life, you're not living your life by yourself. Let me tell you something else I thought about earlier on my way to the house. I was thinking about, like, damn, I know for a fact that as a divine being, even though you can see my flesh, and it's like I'm sitting here by myself, I'm never by myself. Like, I'm literally surrounded by so many angels, divine ancestors, divine spirit guides, and above all, the Most High. Like, that's a lot to try to sift and, like, cut through to get to me. So when you think about, and this is any divine being, when you think about somebody launching some type of attack, plotting or planning some type of attack towards you, sneak attacking you, nobody can sneak attack you. Nah, for real. Nobody can truly sneak attack you when you're tapped in with your spirit family, when you're protected by the Most High, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Uriel, Archangel. Like, come on. Like, we can go on and on and on. And do you understand how powerful one archangel is? Do you understand how powerful one person who is unwavering in their faith in God and the Most High is? Do you understand how solidified that person's energetic field is? Yeah, nah. That's like crash dummy activity. That's like driving into a cemented wall. That's what that is. That's what that is. You know, like when you drive and like sometimes you may hit like little flies and moths and shit like on the front of your car. Yeah, that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. Like people running into their own traps, people running to their own detriment, people running into destruction by thinking that they're going to bring some bullshit your way that you don't deserve, just because they're envious or they're jealous or they're triggered or they're projecting their trauma. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. So I don't know. But it's sad. I can't stand people who just so eagerly follow crowds, and it's like they're just completely, they come off like they're completely absent of their own individualism or their own individual thoughts. That is so unappealing. It's so weak. Like, that's just weak ass activity. Like, and you can never be a true leader with that type of mentality. You cannot. You cannot. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's always going to be, in a way, simultaneously, a time to learn, a time to teach. Okay? Because I know people may try to use, well, to be a leader, you have to be a follower to an extent. Yeah, discerningly. Discerningly. Selectively. Intuitively. You don't just follow just because that's what's hot right now. No. You need to actually pause and think about what you're doing. You need to pause and evaluate all parties involved. You need to go and seek clarity and guidance from the Most High. You don't just run off. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And even though to somebody like me, someone like you maybe, you would really wonder, like, why would people move like that? It don't make sense, right? But the point is, people move like that, bro. People move like that. And that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. I don't know if you guys can hear me, because I got kind of hot just now. But I'm probably gonna hear my car and my AC in the background. But yeah. That's just crazy to me. Because, especially depending on the mother and how she cares for her womb and her mental health, doing whatever shadow work, okay, whatever choices and decisions that she make, hopefully divinely guided. Regardless of who she conceives that child with. And I'm not saying don't be careful with who you conceive a child. That's not what I'm saying. However, if you are really tapped in with the Most High, as we've witnessed with plenty of people, single dads and single moms. It's not just single moms. Like, let's be transparent all the way. All the way. Because why else? Why are we here? To be authentic, right? Okay. So, you realize that whatever divine gifts, abilities, inheritances, ancestrally associated with the father, okay? Even if that father, begins acting out of his lower self. If that mother who is holding that seed, okay? Because what is the baby eating? What is the baby consuming? What is his main source of food? It's coming from that mom. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is based on the choices and decisions that she made, regardless of how her mate decides to act or whatever. If she maintains herself, okay, as much as possible in a balanced manner, whatever positives, okay, associated with the father can be retained, okay, and cultivated with that child or into that child, in spite of what the other parent does. So can y'all chill on this girl? Like, chill on her. Chill on her, because I'm telling you, nobody likes, nobody wants, and sometimes people don't expect to receive that harsh judgment and bad karma from violating a chosen person's energy. And you can sit there, you can be convinced that you're right, that you're justified in your stance and your argument because there's so many other people that agree with you. I don't mean shit. Do masses of people not get wiped out? Does that not happen in our reality? Has it never happened? The fact that there's a saying of, damn, people dropping like flies. The fact that we've developed a saying like that means that is a part of our reality. And any person, that can befall any person who decides to act out in a karmic manner. Just saying. Whether you know them personally or not. That's why I don't worry about, I do my due diligence to spiritually protect myself, and to heed to whatever warnings, or you feel me, like, so I can be strategic, so I can stay 100 steps ahead, whatever the case may be. Like, of course. But am I ever worried about a motherfucker trying to do something to me? I'm one of those people. I really do believe, like, okay, for example, I be feeling like you just not gonna get far. For one, you're not gonna get far. You're not gonna be able to carry out exactly what you want to do without some shit happening to you. Something's gonna stop you. Like, I really believe I'm that protected. There are sometimes I'll even say, like, people will say little things about, yeah, but you should probably still do this and do that because people this and people crazy. I really believe that if somebody is seriously planning to, like, approach me and harm me physically, I'm the type of person, I believe that God had caused you to have an aneurysm or some shit. God had caused you to have a freak accident. God had caused you to have a stroke or some shit. Heart attack will stop you in your tracks before you can carry that shit out. I really wholeheartedly believe that God is that real. I do. I just simply do. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Period. Now, let's consider Job. The story of Job. Okay. We can even consider Yeshua. Okay. Being tempted in the desert. So when we think about symbolism, right? Someone being tempted in the desert. Let's say someone's being tempted in a somewhat unrequited or unwanted or undesirable circumstance or environment. Like, man, if I only had this, or I wish things were like this instead, or I can't wait for this to be over. I can't wait to get this or get that. You feel me? Like, that's when you're vulnerable to temptation, right? When you're in lack of some sort. So let's consider Yeshua being in the desert in that degree, okay? To that point of understanding of a parable. So we could use this as an example. I thought of two examples. So one, let's say I'm still in, like, the very baby ass stage of my channel. if I was somebody who had like a weak or a lack of faith, or I was somebody swallowed up by my flesh or in vanity and, you know, things like that, I might give into temptation to do some wild shit for views, or like to run my shit up, or to pay for fake subscribers and pay for views and stuff like that, because I'm so desperate about how people see me, and I don't give a fuck. But yeah, because I understand my value and my worth. And one thing about it, people will do so much. People will try so hard to make you feel like you are of no value and you are worthless, especially when they can see that you are valuable. You have things that are very valuable, okay? That you are a very worthy person, okay? If they don't feel like they are like that themselves personally, you damn skippy. They gonna try to, if they're, like I said, if this is somebody who's insecure, okay? And I want to be very particular. I try to always be very particular, because just because a person is insecure temporarily, you can be insecure temporarily. That doesn't mean you're an envious and jealous person. However, there are insecure people who are jealous and envious. You can have insecure moments, but still, in a way, be confident. So, you know, like how there's some people, or you could be someone where, if you're in like a shitty ass energy, a shitty ass mood balance, maybe you will go into hermit mode, right? Maybe you will withdraw your energy for people because you don't want however you're feeling or the energy that you're in to transmit onto somebody and possibly like ruin their day, okay, or hurt somebody's feelings unintentionally type shit. So maybe you'll separate yourself, okay, or you'll put distance between you and somebody, right? So it's all about like just discerning, like your discernment should be rooted in love, okay, period. Okay. And love does not always have to be, oh, because you personally know somebody and so you love them. Or somebody, you know, you develop some type of relationship or connection or history with somebody and so you love them. No, love is also like, you can also express love to strangers. Love can be expressed to anybody, any place, person, or thing. Okay? Like, period. Period. Love can be somebody's in need. You don't know them or whatever, but you give to them. Love can be, oh, you see somebody's little kid, you know, at the store and stuff like that, and oh, the little kid wants something, and so you decide that you get it for the kid. You see that somebody, you know, somebody could be a single mom, or somebody could just, you know, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, love, like acts of love, acts of service, that's all love. That's all love. But even in doing so, you still have to be discerning with that, right? You still have to be discerning. So again, you gotta be careful. People need to be careful about what they speaking on you, trying to make it seem like it's out of concern or it's this and it's that, as if I don't give a damn how many people you fool in the flesh. That person whom you're focused on or whatever, or that person's spirit team, the Most High, are gonna always know the actual truth behind your intentions. Nothing is truly hidden. So there's that. Exactly. Slow the fuck down. Tower moments are shifts, okay? Elements of change. drastic change. Okay, it's not always a bad thing. Okay, it can be a foundation breaking or an old foundation crumbling so that something better is being rebuilt. Okay, but in regards to the materials and the supplies used to rebuild whatever is being rebuilt, it does matter. Okay, I'm here and study to show thyself approved unto God. Okay, study to show thyself approved, not denied. Don't study to show thyself denied by the Most High. Study to show thyself approved by the Most High, or approved unto God. Anyway, so you got this Empress energy here. Center of attention. In whatever degree of capacity that may be. It doesn't matter how big the community is. This could be in the family. You could be just one of those people that stand out in the family. You're a chosen one in your family. You're a chosen one in your friends group. You're a chosen one in a community. You're a chosen one at school. You're a chosen one at work. It does not matter. But whatever, let's consider the scenario of a person who stands out wherever they are. And they stand out for the right reasons. Okay? This is not like flashy, like, oh, I got all this name brand and I got all this money and blah, 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 blah. Right? But let's just say for whatever reason this person stands out in whatever community that they're in. Based on the cards that came out, you got the Two of Swords, the Hanged One, the Page of Wands, the Tower, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups. Slow your roll. Pause. Think some shit through before you just jump on some shit. Especially about a person who, yeah, they may be the center of attention or the hot topic. But evaluate why they are. How did they get there? Why are they there? Okay? And if it's for the right reasons, you might want to slow yourself down. And this don't have to be the viewers. This could be people and how they've been moving towards y'all. Okay? Slow yourself down. When you feel like this person is experiencing a tower, when this person is experiencing some type of tower or drastic change. Looks can be deceiving. Don't be so quick. Okay? I'm here a humiliation ritual. Don't be so quick to jump on, you feel me, like the side that's opposing this person who don't even deserve to be opposed. They don't deserve to be opposed. They've done nothing to you to give you any reason why you should oppose them. And this is not saying that we have to know people personally, because no, there are some people, for example, in the public eye whom are full of the fucking devil. They're demonic. They're evil as fuck. They don't have good intentions. And they're just masquerading themselves one way because they want to deceive and manipulate to gain something from us. Absolutely. But again, discernment, any event, which is what people are learning, people are finding out. Any event that a person of this caliber is experiencing a tower for you to see and witness, you might want to think about whom you partake and join, okay, against this person. Okay? Especially when something is like fairly fresh. With the Hanged One talks about a change of perspective, okay? And then you got the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords can, attest to some type of confusion or indecision. I'm hearing, and I feel like this was recently stated around me for a reason. Like, literally for shit, maybe for this message. That author of confusion energy. I heard somebody say something like, If there is confusion involved, then you know automatically there's some type of demonic force going on. Like, but it's not the Most High, right? So if there's some type of confusion surrounding a person who obviously, you feel me, like, have proved, to be of a certain, like, divine nature or innocent nature, you might want to really, like, do some introspection, like, like, seek clarity within self and with the Most High, do your due diligence, opposed to just running off with what masses of people or a group of people are putting out. Okay, that's just simple. Yeah. Ace of Swords. It's the truth. Y'all know how people, how it's a phenomenon when people try to harvest off a pregnant mom? That the energy that she's holding with, the fact that she's bearing a child is very vital. So people don't even realize that they're participating in a demonic ritual. Yep. Pretty much. Confirmation. So, how far am I in the video? So, another message that I had was, and I feel like I've done a video like over a year ago talking about this, but unless a person is disrespecting you, degrading you, belittling you blatantly, not even blatantly, but if you discern that a person is just a shitty character, they're a person of ill intent, they're a devil masquerading themselves as like, these are the people, yes, you can rightfully so penalize these people for, what they associate with or their lack of understanding of knowledge. However, on the opposite end of that, the Most High knows what people are talking about, regardless of what name they refer to him as. Let's talk about it. It doesn't matter. It generally does not matter what religion somebody is. If that person understands that their sole intent is to be given some type of praise or to be living their lives according to or to be seeking guidance from Source, the Most High, it doesn't matter if they call him God, Jesus, Yeshua, Allah, Buddha. It does not matter. It does not matter. As long as in their soul's resonance, the Most High can see, which the Most High sees everything very clear, even though with humans, our fleshly eyes can be faulty sometimes. I just feel like, again, unless you have discerned other things, attributes about a particular person who could be hiding behind Christianity or, using religion as a mask, okay? Or people who knowingly know about, them trying to make people believe that Yeshua's identity is like something that is not. You feel me? Like people who are intentionally know that, they're intentionally doing that. They're intentionally being condescending, or, you know what I'm saying? That's different. But for the people who don't know better and they genuinely believe or feel like they are, praising or they're referring to the Most High and they're not faking it, we should not be penalizing people who still refer to him as Jesus. We should not be penalizing these people. That's not fair. That's not fair. Will people come across certain enlightenment or whatever on their own time journey? Yes. Okay, and even if they, still stick with referring to him as a certain, certain names or whatever that they feel comfortable with. At the end of the day, it's about your soul's resonance, not so much about the actual word or name, you know what I'm saying, that we use to refer to him as. How does your soul, you know what I'm saying, like, period. So that was another message I had got too. Yeah, and he got the 10 of cups after me saying that. I heard it's all love. So that's just a sidebar message. Okay, you should definitely not demean or make people feel like but I'm gonna leave that alone. I do want to see what else come out though, so we just have to be fair and balanced, because there's truth to the argument to an extent, but you just got to be careful with that knowledge. We don't obtain knowledge to abuse people with it. That's not why we have knowledge. And I, for one, would know, because that's literally what my name means. Jada means the one who knows, she who knows, the knowing one, knowledge, refuge. That's what my name means. If you want to Google my name, Jada, that's what it means. It's Hebrew. That's what it means. I don't abuse my knowledge. When people try to demean me, belittle me, or insult my intelligence, I just educate. That's my get back. I educate. Or I just let them think whatever the hell they're going to think, especially if they're like adamant about it and their intent is to start some type of discord intentionally. I don't care enough. I'm sorry. As long as you don't try to harm me and hurt me, hey, do your thing, bro. Just don't try to disturb what I got going on. That's when it becomes a problem. Alright, so I'm going to pull from my written cards and we're just going to see what come out. Whatever comes out. And this is like nearly over 1,000 cards. So I pull a random stack from it and I just see what come out. What the fuck is that? Anyway. Where is my pendulum? Okay, Spirit said this is going to be, this is going to resonate with someone who views this video. Somebody needs to, y'all, this can even, if it's not you, it can be somebody that you was connected to, or maybe a creep, if it's not you. But there's something here about, it says throw away old underwear and lingerie. We're not gonna go into it. We just gonna see what comes out. Oh my god. Guilty pleasures. Okay, so maybe somebody has some type of fetish for something like that. Or this can even be like just somebody trying to like energy harvest or like use somebody's clothing to manifest. Or if you've done certain activities with certain lingerie or clothing or whatever, maybe you need to get rid of it because of, somebody's energy being associated with it. Maybe somebody from the past, because it says, will you forgive me? Okay. It says, even if they all abandon you, I never will, and I'm always with you. I will support you more than they ever could. Ra. So I feel like that supports what most of this reading was about. Because like I said, I feel like this is like a life lesson for her to really like just, stay steadfast in the Most High in her faith and grow closer to God. okay? Because that can be a strong illusion, like, to be popular and well known and think that, oh, so many people love you and support you, and then the minute they feel like you do some shit that they don't approve of, like, they all, like, you see people's true colors, and it's like, you can't let that shit break you. Because again, like the Authentic Empress always says, they're not God. So who gives a fuck? You're not God. I'm sorry. Your opinion it don't stand. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. So during, like, me, like, transitioning and moving around and shit, like, I got some Uno cards in this motherfucker, bro. And why is the 4 in the reverse? Okay. And then I just saw the 4 of Wands. The 4 is in reverse. And then it's something with the heart chakra. The 7 is in reverse. Throat chakra. So something about owning your power or something like that. Prayers or something with that number 7. And then you got the reverse card. Ooh. Something about somebody dealing with a replacement or a rebound or some shit. Somebody's name could start with a D. So it says God is removing. God removes somebody or is removing somebody who's been trying to learn your routine to plot harm. So that can be clarity for somebody that's going to watch this. Somebody could have a scar on their face. A scar on their face or something like that could be significant. Or something about Scarface, the movie. This could be somebody whom, because you got a prospect. So this could be somebody whom you never even really entertained like that. But they wanted to deal with you. But you didn't deal with them. Yeah, something about a sacrifice is significant. I don't know, somebody whom you or feel rejected by you could be trying to sacrifice you. Whether it sacrifices, like, physically your life, or sacrifice you as in, like, something of yours, or cause you to, like, lose something. Let me put all these cards together and then just shuffle. Never will I leave you or forsake you. That came out twice. Hebrews 13 and 5. Y'all could be Hebrews or somebody could be Hebrew. Oh, motherfuckers better be careful who they speaking on. You hear me? It says faith can move mountains. And you got, you are altogether beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you. Songs of Solomon. Y'all see that number? So that's what it is. That's the end goal, to affect somebody's confidence. Yeah. So they silence themselves, they close themselves off, they stop expressing themselves. Yeah. They feel unloved, undesirable, not beautiful. So that's the goal. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wow. You are altogether beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you. That's why motherfuckers be waiting on the opportunity, bro, to think that they've found a fucking flaw and they take that shit and they ride with it, bro. Even if they creating it on their own, creating some false ass narratives. That is weak, peasant ass energy. The fuck? And you know what people end up reaping? Flaws. Because you want somebody to be flawed so damn bad. And then what ends up happening? You end up being flawed some way. In a way that's going to impact your confidence. Or the lack thereof, the little bit of confidence that you actually have or manage to retain. This says you are the God who performs miracles. Psalm 77 and 14, the same numbers. Bro. And why is this card in the reverse? Because this is a lot of people's energy right now. It says, do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. Micah 6 and 8. This card came out in reverse. I said at the beginning of this video, there's some people that's getting humbled. Shaking my head. And it's so crazy. I was at this place today and this lady was telling me how something about she was working and not really paying attention, like she didn't really eat or something. It's 10-10. Endings and beginnings are cycles. She was talking about how she passed out at work. And basically, like I was saying, you know that casual saying, if you don't, give your body rest and take care of yourself, eventually your body will sit your ass down for you. Okay? If people don't want to choose to be humble, to appreciate the mercy that they receive, and if they don't want to choose to be just, they're going to be forced to be. They're going to be forced to be. That's how they go. We got No Choice by Johnny Cinco. God is within her, she will not fail. Whether you choose to be just or not. Okay? Period. You're not knocking this person down. Y'all gonna get knocked down before God let this person fall. I'm sorry. And if that person was to trip, she gonna fall on y'all's fallen bodies. He has made everything beautiful in his time. Ecclesiastes 3 and 11. He has made everything beautiful in his time. Okay, including how that child, I'm just saying. Again, discernment. If that person is happy with whatever is going on, bro, like why would you choose? Why do people feel like the sensible action is to bully somebody who is content with whatever? It says, may mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. Meanwhile, they're giving up what could have been acquired for themselves, okay? This mercy that they refuse to give or whatever, they're giving it. You realize it's like a currency. Like we got 20s, 10s, 5s, 100s, 50s. You get what I'm saying? It's a currency. Mercy is one of them. Peace is one of them. Love. These fruits of the spirits. Let's think of them as different values of currency. You don't want to use yours or whatever. You want to just cast it aside. Okay, well, this person who actually deserve it, theirs is going to be multiplied. It's kind of like that story of what is that parable called, y'all? Is it parable of the talents? When basically this king or lord distributed a certain amount of talents to each person. One of them he only had one and he went and buried it. Oh yeah, they were tasked to go and multiply those talents or whatever, and that they would be rewarded. Like he would come and check or whatever. And based on whatever they produce, their production rate, they will be rewarded, right? But that one person buried theirs out of fear, out of shame, out of worrying about like fleshly things, like what I'm supposed to do with just this one talent, or it's going to be harder for me, and or what if I lose it, blah blah blah. Basically just like kind of investing fear into, you know, something that requires faith, you know, something that you already have the blessing. You just have to follow directions. You just have to be faithful, obedient. But you're going to entertain a spirit that's not even of the divine, which literally just caused you to lose out on some shit. So that makes me think about the handmaiden, the handmaid's tale again. So mind you, I said she went through some shit before she even met this king, y'all. Because at the whole point was the devil was targeting her the whole time, which is how she became handless, right? So her father, I forgot what his line of work was, but the devil approached his father not as himself, but masqueraded as, you know, something, you know, warm, welcoming, whatever. And he made an offer, which he tempted the dad. That's really what he tempted the dad, because they was dealing with some poverty. Okay, and so he tempted the dad, and he basically said, if you give me what's in your backyard, which the dad is thinking he's talking about his apple tree. Like he had this very abundant, beautiful apple tree, just one apple tree in the backyard. That's the only thing in his backyard, usually, right? The devil was like, if you give me what's in your backyard, you know, I'll give you, you know, riches, and, you know, you'll never, like, you know, you'll never have to want for anything. Like, you and your family, your wife and your, you know, your family will never have to want for anything, right? And he was, so, let me tell you how demonic energy be operating, right? They'll let you set yourself up. So, the father was like, really? All this? Like, you're willing to give me all this for a tree? Like, for an apple tree? Sure, like, you can take it. So the devil didn't say whether or not he was talking about the apple tree. He just said, give me what's in your backyard. Y'all, guess who the fuck in the backyard? Cleaning and shit in the backyard. Tilling the land and shit. The daughter. The maiden. That's who was in the backyard. That's who he was referring to. But because, like, that Nine of Pentacles card came out, because the father didn't slow himself down, like, let me think about it. You know, like, in the process of thinking about it, especially like a tree like that, because it was rare, first of all, and like, and we're in his community for somebody to have that tree. Like, I don't know, like, maybe go and, like, you know, maybe your spirit will guide you to go and sit with the tree, which is alive. Look at the tree and imagine how things would be if it's not there. You know, like, really have a come to yourself moment and recognize what true abundance actually is from the divine, right? That it's beyond physical finances, that it can be, you know, you having like a fruitful land, you know, a prosperous soil, whatever the case may be, right? Or ideas, how God can give you ideas, or, you know, have the tree generate so much fruit that you can even gain, you know, wealth from it. Like, you know, like, just basically not be impulsive. Not be impulsive in your decision making. But instead, he was in that desert, right? He was in a deserted moment, okay? And so he fell for that temptation, only to realize that he gave up his one and only child, his daughter. So the reason why the devil wanted her specifically, because there was something, you know, some of you guys could be of the Zulu tribe, but basically there was something very rare and sacred and special about her, clearly, like about her energy, with positive energy here. And so whenever they was preparing the daughter to like go off or to becoming like taken by the devil or whatever, of course she was sad about like what happened, like, but she loved her family so much that, because basically After he already accepted the riches and stuff, the devil was basically saying, now if you don't give me, you know, what you owe me, you're gonna lose everything. Not only are you gonna lose everything, but you're gonna die. I'm gonna take your life. Y'all are gonna die. And so whenever he came to try to get the girl the first time, she drew like a circle of protection around herself. I don't know if she drew it or she put like salt. I don't know what she did, but she created a circle outside in the yard and she sat inside of it. And because of that, he couldn't get to her. He couldn't access her. So he had to come back and he demanded something. Oh yeah, and she was crying. Something about the girl weeping. So, oh yeah, he said she basically don't allow her to bathe. Like he needed her to be dirty, stink, and all that shit in order for him to obtain her, right? But even when she went all these days like without bathing and, you know, whatever, when she would weep onto her hands, okay? And when she cried onto her hands, it cleaned the dirt off her hands, so her hands were like pristine clean because she cried so much, even though the rest of her body was dirty. Like her face from like where her tears fall, and her hands were completely clean. And because there was some cleanness found on her, he couldn't take her. Like he couldn't take her. So he demanded the father cut off her hands. And he said, if you do not do it, then you'll just die. Y'all, when I was at the beginning of this story, you know what I was thinking the whole time? I was thinking the whole time, all he's simply trying to do is incite fear. That's literally all he doing, is trying to incite fear, all right? And based on if you entertain the spirit of fear, which God does not give you that, will determine if you're going to be wise in this situation or ignorant. But because, you know, they gave into fear, unfortunately, the father, the head, gave into fear. Unfortunately, you know, they created trauma. He inflicted trauma on his own seed, okay, and on his own conscience. All for nothing. All for, at the end, I lied. All for, at the end, the devil was never able to take this woman's body nor her soul, because like the king saw when she, you know, went into his orchid or whatever, and he noticed the pear tree lowering its branch so that she can reach the pear and eat of it because she was hungry, she was starving. And he seen the spirit that was walking with her. He knew that she was protected, that this is not just anybody. 1, 2, 3. Covenant. So we got the 6th house, feminine, Virgo. But the first thing I heard was he recognized this woman's innocence and purity. Okay? The fact that she retained her innocence and purity despite the fuck shit she went through. That some people will not be able to survive, bro. She still retained, like, her purity, her innocence, her sweetness, okay? How? Because she sacrificed herself for the love of her family, like, and then some. You feel me? Like, she was willing to suffer. Like, she literally left her parents' house because she realized she was the target. and that the devil would like continue coming there to antagonize her family for the simple fact that he wanted her soul. So she left and she just wandered away. No food, no nothing. Just her and this divine Holy Spirit that was protecting her throughout the whole journey and literally guided her to food, guided her to shelter, guided her to mercy, guided her to love, guided her to peace. And then it was multiplied. This 6th house, there's something, if you resonate with this story in any way, shape, or form, okay. There's something significant about hospitals, a workplace. But what Spirit just revealed to me, like, we know Virgo is associated with health. Health, service, work, altruism, teamwork, co-workers, pets, efficiency, vocation, and daily routine. Aww. Husband and wifey material. Yeah. So there's something about y'all's love story can be similar to the handmaiden and the king. This warrior king who sees you he sees you through his spiritual eyes, not only his flesh eyes. There's something about this person being very protective over you, willing to create things, modify whatever the case may be, to assist you or make things like easier for you. Okay. Someone who loves you no matter what. Someone who views you as a gift. A rare gift. Someone who appreciates your ability to endure many trials and tribulation. Someone who admires your strength. Okay? Because when I say that lady, that's a strong woman. To have your hands cut off. And not only have to consciously, with no type of anesthesia or nothing, not only consciously have both, not just one hand, not a finger, but both of your hands severed from your body brutally while you are fully conscious, but also at the hands of your father. Also with the threat of your entire family being killed if you don't allow your hands to be cut off your body. You understand how strong that woman is? And then even after all that, she didn't become bitter. She didn't grow hatred for her father. Or none of that. She didn't curse God. None of that. It says there is a lot more evil done in the unseen than what is often made visible. The things are made visible to the chosen ones. Man, you got people who out here moving recklessly and they don't have any insurance spiritually. Hidden motives, feelings, urges, subtle flirting masked as friendliness. So there's something significant about food sensitivities that's being heightened at this time, and I feel like it's because that Taurus full moon recently, because Taurus represents the throat, but I feel like Taurus is giving like the body as well. There's something about things that you just do not like, you don't participate in anymore. We got food or dehydration is affecting mood. Like, why is so much coming out about food? Look, a sense of entitlement backfires. Huh. Y'all, I went to go get a sandwich today, and this lady almost pissed me off because I don't got shit to do with how motherfuckers treating you here. I don't got shit to do with how your day went, lady. I'm not over here being rude to you, talking reckless to you. Don't be having all this attitude and shit while you making my damn food. Because that's energy. The fuck? I mean, I know how to clear it away, but still, nigga, like, what the hell? You gotta be mindful, even the smallest, even something like that a person would deem as small and simple. You have to be mindful when it's a chosen one, when it's a divine feminine or masculine, when it's somebody that's anointed, okay? You have to be mindful, even with that, how you're handling their things, what you are preparing for them to consume. So again, but that's that impulsive energy, you feel me? So I feel like this energy, from what I'm pulling out now, I feel like the energy is like kind of changing, shifting. So I may need to do another read, a separate read. Yeah, I am. Love the tales from the ancient soul. Big facts. Big facts. We naturally speak in parables around here. Type shit. But alright, you guys. This is the Authentic Empress. I'm probably going to jump right back on. But I'll see you guys next time.